Ladies and gentlemen, this is important. We'll get right to it. Mitch McConnell has the votes to block Democrats' witness demands in Trump impeachment trial. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has the votes to quash Senate Democratic Leader Chuck Schumer's demands to require additional witnesses to testify at the start of President Trump's impeachment trial. Two key moderate senators, Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, on Monday evening backed Mitch McConnell's position that the Senate should follow the precedent of the 1999 Clinton impeachment trial and defer until later in the process the question of calling additional witnesses. Collins told reporters on Monday evening the Senate should follow the 1999 precedent and consider the question of subpoenaing additional witnesses and documents only after House impeachment managers and Trump's defense team present their opening arguments. She noted in a statement Monday that then Senate Majority Leader Trent Lott and Democratic Leader Tom Daschle adopted a resolution in 1999 to set out the rules for the proceeding that didn't include any agreement for specific witnesses to testify. Quote, the process moved to a period during which the Senate debated and voted that 3 witnesses should be deposed. I believe this process, the Clinton approach, worked well, she said. Murkowski also urged colleagues to follow the path laid out during the Clinton trial. Quote, I think we need to do what they did last time. They did this unfortunate process, and that was to go through a first phase, and then they reassessed after that, she told reporters. And the important part of this article is Republicans control 53 Senate seats, and Democrats have 45, plus the support of 2 independents. That means Schumer needs the support of at least 4 Republicans. If he don't get 4 Republicans, he's up the creek without a paddle, and they're way up the creek without a paddle. They're not going to get 4 Republicans. Even if they got Murkowski and Collins and Romney, they would need someone else, and they're not going to get 4 Republicans. That means Schumer needs the support of at least 4 Republicans to pass an organizing resolution for the trial that meets his demands. Well, he shouldn't even have demands, but let's continue. Without Collins and Murkowski, who, by the way, so what I just read is that they need 4 Republicans, Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski. They already stated, look, we're not going to give you John Bolton and Mick Mulvaney, and we're not going to give Democrats witnesses they want, because that's not how the Clinton impeachment happened. If the defense, if the prosecution in the trial, which is the Democratic Party, makes the case that John Bolton has information that would incriminate Trump, which he doesn't, all of these people, look, want to know how everyone knows that John Bolton doesn't have any information incriminating Trump? Number 1, President Zelensky stated there was no pressure. President Poroshenko stated there was no pressure. But also, aside from that, John Bolton they didn't even demand John Bolton's testimony during the House impeachment. He wasn't even part of the original impeachment process in the House because he wasn't deemed important enough. The homeless walrus wasn't deemed important enough. They could have had him. He was actually, wanted to testify. He was like, hey, I'm available. They didn't reach out to him. They didn't demand his testimony because they just didn't want his testimony, or they didn't need his testimony, or they knew that they probably didn't have enough to impeach Trump, even though they did. And they wanted to wait. They wanted to have somebody close to Trump for the Senate trial. Democrats are only asking for witnesses because they have not made their case in the House. Had they argued a case with direct evidence in the House of Representatives, they could have already given the articles of impeachment to McConnell, and they wouldn't even have to demand They wouldn't even have to demand any witnesses. They could simply say, hey, look, you know what? We have all the evidence needed. It's without a shadow of a doubt. It's beyond a shadow of a doubt. We know there's direct evidence. President Trump ordered military assistance to be withheld because he wanted to interfere in the election, to investigate political rivals. Number one, this political rival, Biden, should be investigated. His son was on the board of directors of a corporation funneling $3.4 million into his accounts. $3.4 million for a ceremonial job. You know that ceremonial position, the chancellor position? People are like, she's teaching biology. She's not running. H.A. Badman. She's not running. Clinton is not. Clinton's going to be nominee. And honestly, you know what? I respect her for it, and I'll tell you why. She's going to lose. She's going to run in 2024 again. She's committed numerous crimes, a great many crimes that have been covered up. Fine. She cheated Bernie Sanders, blamed Russia, all that stuff. Got the popular vote because Russia was apparently really bad at cheating, whatever. She's going to be nominee. The chancellor position, let's just assume that it prevents somebody from becoming president. You think she would pick that? A university in the UK over becoming president? So no, I don't even think that would prevent anyone from becoming a president. She ain't going to become president. Trump is going to be president. Trump's going to defeat Clinton again. Just like I wrote in the Huffington Post in 2017, Clinton 2020 is a reality. Get ready for 8 years of Trump. Mark my words. Tell everyone you know that Hillary Clinton is going to be the Democratic Party nominee. It ain't going to be Biden. And President Obama has stated he will intervene through Politico if Bernie even gets close. They're not even pretending. They're not. The Democrats and intelligence community, they don't pretend anymore. They're like, yeah, we're going to cheat. Yeah, we're going to cheat Bernie. He gets close, game over. Look it up. So, and Warren she failed her DNA test. There's nothing there. So the impeachment basically obliterates Joe Biden's campaign. Joe Biden said that he'll have a vice president, a Republican vice president. He's open to a Republican vice president. You're a Democrat. So he's going to have a pro-life vice president? Okay. There's the front runner. That's the person that Trump is supposed to be so worried about. Biden also is losing money every quarter. Biden also stated that he's only going to go one term. Biden also stated that coal miners should learn to code, learn to program. Really? It's un-American to say we're going to go to the playoffs and lose. What football coach in America says, men, we're going to go to the playoffs and lose in the first round. Everybody, lose on first round on 3. 1, 2, 3, lose on first round. Lose in the first round. It doesn't happen. Joe Biden said he said he's going to be a one-term president. They're even talking about a pledge. This is a farce and a charade. I'm keep telling everybody this. And we haven't heard from Madam Secretary in a while. So she's teaching sociology. She's teaching biology in a college in the UK. She's not running anymore. Sorry, H.A. Batman. What? No. This is all from the Steele dossier to the intelligence official that John Brennan's like, oh, John O'Brennan, this person who blew the whistle. I haven't seen heroism like this since George Washington. It's an intelligence operative that actually at one point worked with Biden, and at one point before he complained about Trump's phone call, which there was nothing there. Democrats were like, he said the word though. He also spoke to and had communication with Adam Schiff's office. But anyway, there are 4. The Democrats need 4 GOP defectors. Ain't going to happen. Because Murkowski and Collins have already stated, look, just do what Clinton did.
Oh, Nancy, we're going to go ahead and do what Bubba Bill did. Not with a blue dress and a cigar. No, that's a quintessential Bill Clinton. No, Bill Clinton makes Sodom and Gomorrah look like the teacup ride in Disneyland. No. We're going to go ahead and conduct the impeachment trial in the Senate the same way that Bubba Bill had his. That means no witnesses until we decide later on in the process, maybe. And then we get, if you want a witness, we get, where is my Hunter Biden? Who is my Hunter Biden? You know that song? Who that is, my Hunter Biden? Who that is, my Hunter Biden? That's just my Hunter Biden.
If you didn't grow up in the 90s, you don't know what I'm talking about. So McConnell will get who that is, my Hunter Biden, and he'll also get the shifty Schiff, and he'll get the intelligence operative, and he'll get Sleepy. Those are the witnesses he'll get. McConnell will get those witnesses. If Democrats want to roll the dice with Bolton, fine. The homeless walrus is not going to give what they want. They said, oh, yeah, this is some kind of sordid deal. It's like, if hearsay, gossip, innuendo, conjecture was enough, both Bill and Hillary would have already been in the big house years ago. There are enough people who will testify and even sworn affidavits saying, oh, yeah, they committed crimes. Case in point, William D. Campbell, represented by brilliant attorney Victoria Tenzing, who's married to Joe DeGeneva. A power couple, if there ever is one. That's the definition of a power couple. Political couple. Amazing, D.C. attorneys. William D. Campbell stated that President Obama's administration and the Clinton Foundation, that Russian lobbyists infiltrated both and were able to grease the wheels to ensure that the uranium sale, 20% of U.S. uranium capacity, was sold to the Kremlin, and that nothing took place. William D. Campbell testified before Congress. Want to know what Democrats, the initial rebuttal was? Where's the evidence? That's just his opinion. So what? Well, where's the direct evidence? You have below in the description section, you have two articles that I quote. One from 538, okay, and one from the Associated Press. So let's read that one from 538. All right. Do Democrats have enough smoking gun evidence for impeachment? There is at present, this is a brilliant 538 article, even though they quoted me and Nate Silver and PBS, the article's below, and I was right. Clinton was unelectable. She lost. That article's below in the pinned comment and the description section, but here, 538 is great. This is a brilliant article. Quote, there is at present no single piece of evidence that conclusively links Trump to the Ukraine scandal like the tape transcripts of President Nixon ordering the Watergate cover-up. That particular piece of evidence was such a decisive smoking gun that its release forced Nixon's resignation within a matter of days. Democrats' case against Trump, on the other hand, doesn't have that one key piece of evidence directly linking Trump to a quid pro quo. Democrats' case against Trump, on the other hand, doesn't have that one key piece of evidence directly linking Trump to a quid pro quo. That's it. Case closed. For years, we've heard that correlation doesn't equal causation because cash flowed into the Clinton Foundation and beneficial treatment took place. And then they said, well, you can't prove anything. Where's the document? Well, she deleted 33,000 emails, and she used private servers to hide her communication. That's the point. When people are like, but her emails, and they have the memes with like, you know, the apocalypse, and there's like an insect surviving, and it's like, but her emails, and everything's destroyed. This is the mind of Democrats. Record low unemployment, record highs in the stock market, poverty reduced substantially, 5 million people off poverty, 5 million people lifted out of poverty in terms of President Trump. And then they say, oh my God, he's going to create a military catastrophe with Iran. No, he's not. I explained it. And then they say, well, he's sending Americans there. Yeah, he also sent warships to the Korean Peninsula. Then what happened? He was the first president to step foot in North Korea. Democrats and media are like, "Oh my God, he's gonna bring the world to the brink of the apocalypse with Kim Jong-un." Then he was the first president to step foot in North Korea, and Democrats and media turn on a dime. It's just a photo op, meaningless. Even though Moon Jae-in of South Korea stated that he should win the Nobel Peace Prize. So I mean, then you have, well, President Trump, yeah, okay, the embassy there. Then there was a general recently that stated, yeah, we're going to bring home Americans. And then immediately the White House is like, oh, yeah, that's not true. Well, we know what's taking place. Democrats and media could you imagine if Trump tomorrow unilaterally pulled out all the Americans in both Iraq and Afghanistan? They would say he was the worst president of all time, even though they're trying to say he's a tyrant and a monster. And so he has to play that game. But anyway, he's outmaneuvering Democrats. He is doing exactly what I want. The reason that, okay, I'm voting for President Trump because he is engaging in this behavior. I don't want his behavior to change. Look, I wouldn't have gone after the general. Inadvertently, it's leading to us leaving the Middle East. And I want us to leave that region completely. But give me your thoughts below. Democrats need 4 GOP senators. They ain't going to get 4 GOP senators. So, ain't going to get them. Okay? And they're not going to get the witnesses that they want, because the witnesses they want don't have any direct evidence of anything. It's almost to the point where Trump, like, one thing President Trump understands is how drama unfolds. He's very good. I mean, the guy, he conquered Hollywood with The Apprentice. He understands how drama builds up and there's a crescendo, and he understands theater. He also understands the theater of the absurd, which is politics. And Democrats, their mentality is, we need to throw as much mud as at Trump, because with any other human being, the mud covers them up and makes them obsolete and tarnishes their reputation and silences them and defeats them and overruns them with constant gossip and hearsay and controversy. And the media usually is able to silence and steamroll an individual, oftentimes because of the individual's own actions. But media is just waiting to tear people down. Not the case with Trump. They can't touch Trump. Trump is like this otherworldly creature. They don't know what to do with him. They try to do everything possible, but see, the thing is, the people going after him are in their 30s and 40s. Trump has been a part of the American political to an extent, not really, but media, cultural establishment for a long time. He understands. I mean, he became famous really in the 80s, 90s. the 2000s, 2010s, 2010s. And so he understands. You're talking about, like, what, 35 to 40 years where Trump is ahead of the average journalist that is trying to go after him. The average journalist every day, can you believe what Trump did? Can you believe what Trump did? Yeah, but the average American doesn't have the sensibilities of the average journalist in D.C. A journalist in D.C. is like a different entity. They can't relate to anyone who might even think of voting for Trump. And that will be the downfall of media right now. Give me your thoughts below. Democrats they simply don't have the votes. And they need 4, and they ain't going to get 4. And McConnell's just going to wipe the floor with them. Give me your thoughts below. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel right this second. If you enjoy my work, my Patreon is below in the pinned comment and description.